Good morning. Welcome all here to Public Works and Highways Room. I am the acting chairman of the Long Range Capital Planning Utilization Committee. Time being a little after 9:30, we will begin. So we will start with the organization of the committee. We will nominate a chair, a vice chair, and a clerk. And at this time, I would call on Representative Cloutier for a nomination.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Representative Mark McConkey to be chair of the Long Range Capital Planning and Utilization Committee.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Give first and second. Are there any other nominations for chairman? Seeing none, we will close. If you're in favor of Representative McConkey as being chairman, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If you're opposed, nay. Thank you, and I accept chairmanship. Nominations are now open for vice chair, and I would recognize Senator Pearl.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I would nominate Senator Lang for vice chair.
Thank you. Senator Pearl nominates Senator Lang for vice chair. Is there any other nominations? Seeing,
Should there be a, I'll second that. I didn't hear a second, Mr. Chairman.
okay, thank you. Seconded by Cloutier. Any other further nominations? Seeing none, if you're in favor of Senator Lang being vice chairman, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes unanimously. We will now accept a nomination for clerk, and I would look to Representative Cloutier.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Representative David Mills to be clerk of the Long Range Capital Planning and Utilization Committee.
Rochelle Mills has been nominated, and I will second. So he's made and second. Are there further nominations for clerk? Seeing none, if you're in favor of Representative Mills being clerk, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. Thank you. So you now have a chairman, vice chairman, and clerk, and thank you all for that. We will move on. We have minutes here from November 28th, 2022 that have been distributed. It should be in your packets. We have a motion to accept those minutes as distributed.
So moved.
So moved by Senator Lang. Seconded by myself. Any discussion on the minutes, corrections, omissions? Seeing none, if you're in agreement for the acceptance of the minutes November 28, 2022, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Passes unanimously. We have no old business, which is item number 4. As we will move now into new business, number 5. Speak to Project 23003, Department of Transportation. Request authorization to sell .70 plus or minus an acre state-owned land located on the northerly side of New Hampshire Route 25 in the town of Effingham. Sir, if you would address this request.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Steve Labonte. I am the administrator of the Bureau of Right-of-Way. I'm also an advisory member to this committee as designated by Commissioner Cass. The department is seeking to sell .7 of an acre of state-owned land located on the northerly side of New Hampshire Route 125 in the town of Effingham to the Stilling Lanes Revocable Trust, Eric Jones, trustee, for $1,500, which includes the statutory $1,100 administrative fee. The subject property is a portion of a larger parcel acquired in 1987 for the construction of New Hampshire Route 25. At the time, the department acquired 6.38 acres from Clara Louise Sinat for $33,500 via a warranty deed. After departmental review, it was determined that this property is surplus to the department's operational needs. The parcel itself is oddly shaped. It has no independent access and is mostly wet. As a condition of the sale, the grantee will be required to commission a licensed land surveyor in the state of New Hampshire to conduct a survey and prepare a perimeter boundary survey plan, which will be recorded at the Registry of Deeds. The grantee shall be responsible to obtain all local and state land use approvals, and there will be no access, as mentioned before, to Route 125. An appraisal was conducted by a staff appraiser, and it was determined that it has no standalone value, so its contributory market value as of November 7th, 2022 was $400. I can take questions if anybody has any.
Thank you, sir. Any questions? Seeing none, was the pleasure of the committee. Yes,
Move to approve 23003.
thank you. Senator Lang moves to approve 23003, seconded by Mills. Any further discussion? If you're in favor of 23003, the disposal of a .70 acre of land in Effingham, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Yeah, we're in the middle of, our committee will start in a few minutes. Thank you, Ms. Representative Jill. Okay, we'll move on to item 23004, Department of Transportation requests authorization to dispose of .062 plus or minus an acre state-owned land located northern side of the Range Road, Route 111A in the town of Wyndham. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The department is requesting authorization to dispose of .062 of an acre, state-owned land located on the northerly side of Range Road in the town of Wyndham. The sale will be direct to CE Properties LLC for $23,100, which includes the $1,100 administrative fee. CE Properties LLC is under agreement with Crystal Ball Enterprises to purchase the abutting parcel once the subdivision process is complete. There's a larger plan involved with this sale. The department has been working with the town of Wyndham to ultimately turn over Route 111A and reclassify it to a Class 5 highway. Then the town of Wyndham will take over maintenance responsibilities for that. As part of that discussion, the department has agreed to discontinue the former Route 111A, which if you look at the plan, it kind of skirts off into a larger parcel of property. So as part of that, once that discontinuance is complete, under the middle of the road doctrine, what happens is it's an easement highway. So under the middle of the road doctrine, that old road is split in half and it goes to each of the two abutters, the remaining property. So it'll go to the parcel that's abutting Route 111A, and then as the state, the other side will go to the state. So we were contacted by Crystal Ball Enterprises to sell this property. We've been working with them for, I think, since 2019. They've gone out, they're in the subdivision process now. This parcel was acquired in 1961, and it was part of a larger parcel, and we paid $8,650 for it. So the property has a contributory value of $22,000. Now, this is a small, awkwardly shaped property. So in the interest of transparency, this is kind of an interesting disposal. So in December of this year, another party surfaced, and I just want to be clear because the other party may have may be here today and may wish to address the committee. So I just want to be clear about that. So another party has come, and they've expressed interest in the property. So their purpose for wanting the property is for conservation, but it has no conservation value. Really what it is this person wants to buy the property to restrict access to that larger parcel, and basically it's a guerrilla tactic to stop the otherwise legally permissible development of the parcel. The department has clearly told them, no, we're going to proceed with the sale to CE Properties. So I wanted to be clear that there is this other party out there who has an interest in it. So I can take any other questions.
Thank you. Are there questions from the committee? I'm going to say it's nice to see that for once we're making money on a parcel, so thank you for that. So pleasure of the committee.
Move to approve 23004.
So it is moved by Lang, seconded by Pearl. Senators, any further discussion? If you're in favor of the motion for the sale of .062 acres as item number 23004, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next item, sir, is 23005, Department of Transportation requests authorization to sell .75 acre state-owned land, limited access right-of-way on the southern side of US 3 Daniel Webster Highway to the town of Belmont. If you would, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you just stated, we're seeking authorization to sell .75 of an acre of state-owned land within the limited access right-of-way located on the southerly side of US Route 3 in the town of Belmont. Winnisquam Storage LLC contacted the department and is looking to buy the property to expand their storage facility. The parcel is a portion of a larger unimproved parcel that was acquired in 1972 from Granville and Dorothy Robinson via warranty deed for $36,000. At the time of the acquisition, that parcel was 1.53 acres, was improved with a two-story structure that housed a laundromat and an apartment building. That structure is no longer there. The department, after department review, it was determined that the property is surplus to the department's operational needs. As a condition of the sale, the Winnisquam Storage will be required to commission a licensed land surveyor to complete a survey and prepare a boundary line plan. Grantee Winnisquam Storage will be responsible for obtaining all local and state land use approvals. No access will be given to Route 3. And based on the current conditions of the parcel, an appraiser has opined that the contributory value as of January 9, 2023 is $49,400.
Thank you. Questions from the committee? Seeing none, what is the pleasure of the committee? Yes.
Considering this is in my district and I'm happy to return this back to the tax rolls, I move to approve 23005.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made by Lang, seconded by Cloutier for item 23005. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor will signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Last item under new business, 23006, Department of Transportation requests authorization to sell 1.18 plus or minus acres of state-owned land located westerly side New Hampshire Route 3 and north of the Merrill Access Road in the town of Thornton, to be sold to the town of Thornton. If you would, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The department is seeking authorization to sell 1.18 acres of state-owned land on the westerly side of New Hampshire Route 3 to the town of Thornton for $8,000 plus an $1,100 administrative fee. The parcel is a portion of two parcels with a combined area of 98.04 acres acquired from Vincent and Geraldine Lavasser by condemnation in 1968 for $20,450. As a condition of this sale, the town will be required to commission a licensed land surveyor licensed in New Hampshire to complete a survey and prepare a perimeter boundary line plan that will be recorded in the Registry of Deeds. Based on the current conditions of the parcel, an appraiser has opined that the contributory value as of December 30th, 2022 is $8,000. I can
Thank
answer
you.
any questions.
Questions? Yes, Senator Pearl.
Thank you. Just looking at the map, and I'm kind of curious why you cut the corner off so much on that. Is that for a future widening of the intersection?
Likely. So what happens is when we get an inquiry regarding a piece of property, what we'll do is we'll prepare what we call a departmental review. And what then happens is we send out this packet, similar packet to what you got here.
Mm-hmm.
We send it out to our Bureau of Highway Design, our Bureau of Highway Maintenance, Bureau of Environment, Bureau of Planning, and also Bureau of Aeronautics and Rail and Transit. Then they'll come in and comment. So my guess is, and I'm not sure, likely maintenance probably came back and said, well, we need this for either to maintain it, or highway design came back and we should keep this for future widening.
Thank you.
Further questions? Seeing none, pleasure of the committee on item 23006.
Move to approve.
Motion made, Mills seconded by Lang, for the approval to sell 1.18 acres of state-owned land located on westerly of New Hampshire Route 3, north of Merrill Access Road in the town of Thornton. Any further discussion? If you're in favor of the motion 23006, you signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. I would like to back up on an item I missed. I have two items. Mr. Shea on 2302 revised status.
Yeah, so again, the packet 23-002 is just a compilation of the various RSAs this committee may encounter through the items that come before you. So it's just a one-stop shop for that. The second item that you had from us is looks like a cover letter, and behind that is it's called Guidelines and Procedures. So this committee has typically approved a series of guidelines that they would like the agencies to adhere to when disposing of property. I can go through each point, or the committee can read it themselves. What's the
Senator,
pleasure?
Did you find yours? You have yours. Okay. All right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So the number one is basically that the sale price, when negotiating that, shouldn't fluctuate more than 10% from the amount that the committee has been presented to the committee. When the departments are determining a broker commission, there's thresholds for the percentages under number two. For commissions for properties with improved buildings, it limits it to 5%, or that's what's recommended. And then the last two things are more for our office. It's if you need an item on the agenda, you need to get it to us no later than 2 weeks before the scheduled meeting. Otherwise, you got to request a permission from the chair to bring it forward. So again, these were things that the committee has adopted in previous sessions. Again, the first three items are to provide guidance to the agencies on when they want to dispose of a piece of property, what they should consider.
Any questions of Ms. Shea? Seeing none, thank you.
Mr. Chair, then I move to accept the guidelines and procedures as written.
Thank you. Motion made by Mills, seconded by Cloutier. Requires action. If you're in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. It was a late item brought in. Okay, so we go down to miscellaneous. And under informational, we have three items. You can read those at your pleasure, or if you have questions on them, we can ask at this time. Yes.
Mr. Chair, may I just make one quick comment? The informational item 23-001, that's the biennial report that's required of the Long Range Capital Planning Committee. So this is the compilation of all the projects that were approved to be disposed of or leased during the last two sessions. You'll have a similar report at the end of your time on this committee. So as you approve items such as you did today, we'll check back in with the agencies near the end of the legislative sessions to see if they've disposed of the properties at the values that were discussed or not, and provide a final report to you.
Thank you. Senator Lang, that's typically put together by the vice chairman. So-
Yeah.
Any other discussion of items? Seeing none, I would like to, as we did previously, set tentatively the date of our next meeting for May
That was the 26th, you said?
May 26th. Thank you.
Friday?
It's a Friday.
And what time would that be, Mr. Chairman?
It would have a same starting time as we did today, which I believe was 9:30.
9:30. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I have another solid waste working group meeting is at 9:30 on that morning, so I may have a conflict with that.
Okay. All right. Well, let's, if there turns out to be more conflict than that, then we will work on a different date. Senator Waters had a possible conflict also for our earlier meeting. So with that, any other business before our committee? I will call this
Move to adjourn.
motion made to adjourn, seconded by Cloutier. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Boom. Got it all. I'm telling you.